feels good to be back.
Is that not the wackest line ever?
What line?
I'm sick of the rah. I am a da. Like I'm a daddy. Like I'm a dad.
Yo,
like,
Evan, you need to stop hating, man.
dude,
it was a good album, man.
he's so easy to hate. You want to shut it off? Right?
You want me to what?
Pause it.
Yeah, no problem.
Thanks, bro. I want to get flagged by YouTube. This is a can opener.
Oh yeah, this is man.
This is a can opener.
Oh, the can opener.
I'm Evan Stolpmann, and a very special guest in front of me. Won't be so special in the short-term future,
right?
As we're figuring out our destiny here in the 416. The 416, Toronto. We're in Mississauga right now. In
Saga City,
deadbeat ass hotel. It's called Lucky 6 Motel.
You're the one that picked that hotel.
Bro, it was
in record, it was Evan that picked over.
It was $141. It was last minute. I had to.
Yo, Evan's trying to set us up out here, man. There's a lot of things are fishy out here, man. I'm
trying to make some crack deals while I'm here,
oh,
bro.
Shit, bro. Snap. You're scaring me, man. I have to sleep with one eye open tonight, man. Like,
yeah,
you remember
I've been saying some pretty sus shit today. I think it's because I'm tired, bro.
You're tired? Yeah, I got you on the pocket. I got you
cheers, bro.
Late night. Yo, let's cheer for this, man. Cheers for what, actually? What? I like how you drink it without cheering for...
Dude, cheers for what? Yeah, cheers for what? That's a good question.
Cheers to Drake's new album, Scorpion.
Yeah, cheers to Drake.
Yeah.
Deadbeat ass dad.
Yeah, we're in the city, so you better watch out what you're saying. Bro, I'm playing. How'd you feel about the album? Honestly.
About Scorpion.
Yeah, Scorpion.
I listened to about 4 songs of it. I listened to the first half. I didn't listen to
side
second
A or
half.
side B?
Side A.
Okay.
I listened to side A. I didn't listen to side B. Really. I listened to a few songs. I listened to Blue Tint, In My Feelings, and Nice for What, obviously. And, and all the good stuff. But I could care less for it. I'm just not emotionally attached to him.
Why?
Anymore. I don't know. There's not the same energy. It's not. It does. Well, I love If You're Reading This It's Too Late, Drake. I love If Nothing Was the Same, Drake.
You like the more angry Drake.
Nothing Was the Same was like changed my life.
But that was more like angry, cocky-ish Drake.
Was it? I'm coming back on my worst behavior. Yeah. I guess it was.
You know what I mean? He was kind of like
that was the rapidy rap Drake, and he's so good at that. And it's not like he wasn't rapidy rap, but it's just there's just so much extra shit on top of it. It's not really just music anymore. It's just all the bullshit about him being a dad and like the Kanye. It's all bullshit. So on top of the music, and the music should be the thing that's carrying him, but it's not. So that's the start of a change for him.
I feel like you don't like Drake because you know that he hasn't reached his full potential. You know what he can be.
Yeah.
And you don't like that he's not reaching his potential.
And that's because I love him so much. Let me tell you how much I love Drake. Like motherfuckers will attest to that. It's just I don't know what it was. It didn't do it for me. I'd rather listen to Daytona. Bro, it's just so hard. I'd rather listen to Chance than that. Like, you know what I mean?
Okay, you're bullshitting here. Last year you tried in the car right here. You were trying to talk to me about Pusha T's Daytona album, which is probably his best project that he released. But like, you're not going on the streets and saying, "Yo, did you hear that new Pusha T stuff?" Nah.
Yeah, but I'm not doing that with the Drake album either.
Yo,
because obviously you have, right? Mm-hmm. Like, so it's like it doesn't. Everybody's opinions out there.
Everybody's opinion out there.
Yeah.
I feel like you like the underdog rapper. That's what you think.
I do. I think you do.
You just don't like the favorite. You know what I mean? The champ favorite. You know what I mean?
My buddy loves Jay-Z so much that like I started to hate Jay-Z because of how much he loved him.
The funny thing is with my view on Jay-Z is that I never really hate the dude. I really don't like the dude. His music never spoke to me.
No?
I don't know why. I don't know. I feel like Jay-Z was just... I feel like... I don't know. Like, I never understood... No disrespect. This is going to sound really polarizing, but I never understood what was so great about him. He's a great artist, but I don't understand what's so great about him. Why people are so head over heels for him.
And look, he sold a lot of records, but I feel the same way. I feel the same way about it, and Kaylin will debate me till the end of time about that, and I don't get it either. I mean, he's great.
Yeah, I'm not
Heart of the City, like 444 was amazing.
Yeah, for sure. It was a great album in my view. One of his best projects.
100%. I think so too.
Yo, this beer is going smooth.
Sleeman original, bro.
Not maybe as much as Heineken, but you know what I mean.
Dude, Heineken's a shit. That's German engineering right there. Bro.
German engineering. Hey, Germany. How'd you like the German artist I showed you there?
Yo, it was. What did it remind me of? That song, 10% will, 20%.
Oh, remember the name by Ford Minor.
That's what it reminded me of.
You know, funny thing is that was in the. You know when I first learned that? I first heard about that song.
Yeah.
Was in NBA Live 2006. And it was the funny thing. It was in the same soundtrack as Fort Miners.
No
Remember
way.
the name?
That's hilarious,
it's funny how you say that because it kind of brings similarity to that song too.
It's like it's similar. It's dope.
I feel like he was a little like he tried to came in like if you guys don't know, I'm talking about this artist called Reptile. He's a German MC that came out around 2004, 2005, and he had a pretty good hit in 2004, 2005, you know? And he was the first German rapper to actually reach the U.S. market. But then, with the lack of social media and everything like that, he kind of just faded in the back, you know?
Pretty trippy how hip-hop is so globally expansive. Like, my mom went to go teach in Poland for a month because she's doing school and she went to do ESL in Poland. And she used J. Cole's Love Yours in her lesson, and the kids in Poland knew the song. Didn't know the English, but knew the song.
That's crazy, right?
Crazy, bro. Think about that. And there's not many people that come from those areas that are somewhat mainstream success in Western culture. It's kind of a shame because that's really the only way you make money when you're doing anything like that.
Yeah, you gotta hit the Western culture stuff.
Well, you have to be popular. You have to sell shows.
But how'd you feel about that's a great topic you're bringing up. How'd you feel about the globalization of hip hop? Because I feel like hip hop was a weird genre because it was never supposed to blow up that hard. It was supposed to just stay in the streets of New York, in the streets, the American streets. You know what I mean? It was supposed to be just an art form to express yourself, but it blew up to such.
It was just entertainment at barbecues.
Yeah. Essentially, and at blog parties, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it blew up so hard that nowadays I feel like hip hop is like a globalized entity now. You know, you have artists all over the world coming out. You know, you have artists in the UK, France. You have places in Asia.
That's what I think about. I think about like Korea and think about those cultures. Think about China. Like think about how many Yeezys. Think about how many fake Yeezys they produce and they wear. Yeah, like that is the culture over there. Hip hop is the culture everywhere.
Yeah, and it's like, no, it's amazing because I love hip hop. It's amazing, but how do you feel about especially when I was at the BET Awards. This is gonna be.
You were at the BET.
I wasn't sorry. Rewind. That Sleeman is getting to me. Yo, shit, Evan, I don't know what you're putting that Sleeman, man.
I'm slipping.
Caught me slipping. Well, I was watching the BET Awards, okay, and
thinks he's fucking big time now. I'm at the BET Awards.
Oh, I'm out there
front row.
Soon.
Right,
I speak into existence.
And a pregnant Cardi B.
Oh.
And then Offset got arrested in the middle of the show.
Really?
No.
Shit, that would be a little cool. If you were beside Cardi B, what would you even ask her? What would you say if you were beside Cardi B? If you had one question to ask, what would you ask her?
Honestly, nothing. For a lap dance?
Offset might give you a couple punches there and there, but
like, I don't know, bro. I don't know.
I was on the one. Why did she call herself Cardi B?
I remember seeing interviews of Cardi B before I ever even heard any music.
She was hilarious, huh?
She's hilarious. She's a character.
Yeah, I like Cardi B because she doesn't change up.
I've had this conversation with people though, and people are are disappointed, I guess, in Cardi B because she doesn't show the right ways to be an empowered female. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I've had this conversation with females.
Yeah.
It's different when it's just me and you talking. Mm-hmm. But chicks have said, like, it's not good that she's a role model because it's borderline negative, if not negative. Mm-hmm. For, like, yes, as a woman, they're saying you should do what you want, but it's you should, even if you can do what you want, you still shouldn't promote that, like the stripper lifestyle and like that shit, because it's like we were talking about. Does she really
promote it?
I don't know. I was having this conversation with Shay. This is not like I could care less, right? Like she should be able to do what she wants. Like she is not like the president of the United States. You know what I mean?
Oh shit! That's a different topic. Yeah,
but no, there doesn't have to be that much pressure on who she portrays, because she shouldn't be looked at as someone who you should have responsibility for what you say, but you shouldn't totally curate all of your actions based on what other people might perceive. Be fake,
what you're trying to say.
Exactly.
So I'm like in the middle stance with this because. First of all, I agree with your friends are saying. She is right, what she's saying.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you have to understand that Cardi B is a product of her.
It's hard to talk about that shit. It's hard to like weave the words around because I'm not talking from my perspective.
Well, I'm just saying. For me, I think that she's a product of her environment.
Yeah.
And if you're mad at Cardi B, don't be mad at Cardi. Be mad at the systems. Be mad at the environment that kids are raised in. You know what I mean? She started stripping because her parents needed that money because they were extremely poor. You know? Yeah. Be mad at those kind of systems. Why do women have to feel that they have to go into the stripping lifestyle?
So sad.
To pay for their family's food and everything like that, right? So you have to understand that you be mad at the institutions around it because society failed Cardi. You know what I mean? And she's a product of the society, right? I feel like, yes, I do understand what she's trying to say, like Cardi's this, but she's just being who she is.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Sadly, this is what growing up in this environment turns you into. She's not a bad person.
No, she isn't.
She's not, but she sees the world differently as you do, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like before you start getting mad at her, try to understand her.
And it's kind of like a thing that's sad about a lot of characters in hip hop. Mm-hmm. And it's like you come from nothing, and then once you get something, it's like a strange transition. Mm-hmm. Some transition okay, and a lot don't.
Exactly.
Like, you know what I mean?
And she's transitioning pretty good.
No, for sure. Sure, yeah. 100%. Mm-hmm. There's a lot worse cases. Mm-hmm. But it's changing to the relationship of your circumstance in your life.
Exactly. What do you mean by that?
So it's like you're not living in the Bronx anymore, and you're not doing what you were doing.
I understand.
So maybe it might be time to adapt to your environment and do what you're doing.
But isn't that like selling out?
It's not selling out. It's probably it's not like totally changing, but understanding the what you have. She's a business. Mm-hmm. She's a business. Mm-hmm. I don't think it would be. It's not like she's going against any of her beliefs, but she's just.
Well, okay. What would
maybe,
like did you ask her?
It is, man.
Did you have a question? Did you ask her what do you want her Cardi B to say to become a good role model? What do you want her to say? What do you want her to do? What's a good role model in?
Okay, so from me, not talking from my perspective, but being a devil's advocate would be come out and be like, you don't have to have these fake tits and this fake ass, and you can be beautiful without the enhancements of your body.
Oh yeah, and she did talk about how she had like butt shots to make her butt bigger.
Yeah,
and she said I regret it.
Did she say it?
Yeah, she openly talks about it, and she says she got those implants because when she was stripping, she needed bigger boobs to get more money.
Yeah, and
she got that. You know what I mean? And you know. Like she said one time, she said in a kind of a funny way. She said, "I was working at the studio, and then I was getting tired, And I think one of his managers was like, Cardi, you better work hard or you're gonna go back to that pole. And she was like, hell no, I'm never going back to that pole, right? So she kind of made it as a joke, but she was trying to say that life is hard, you know. It's not an easy life, you know. She's kind of expressing her music. She never said be a stripper, be a this. No, she never said that. What she's trying to say is like, yes, I did that, but I left that life because I want to be a singer. And you know, I don't think she really advocates for that. I think people misconstrued her messages, because I understand how your friends.
It's strange though, because there's so many male rappers that have such bad influence. There's such bad influence, but as soon as like Cardi B comes out and she's like a female influence, then it's like some huge thing. And maybe that's good on the female for being protective of their influences into their, you know what I mean? Into their mental state. Or if it's just
but you see, with me, I don't like that shit, because have the same energy for the males. Have the same energy for it.
You need to. And,
you know what I mean?
And that might be a thing of like males, or just whatever the society wants women to fit into some line more. Like that we obviously do for males too, but that's to an extreme level. Like just one female rapper is not like the person we think she should be. So therefore she should be scrutinized for it.
Yeah.
It's like that never happens unless it's an extreme case.
In my personal view, I feel like it's because Cardi B isn't she's in the hip hop genre, and hip hop is a big thing.
Yeah.
And I feel like sometimes media always tries to twist things and make hip hop look like a bad genre, right?
Yeah.
Because Miley Cyrus, all these other girls be going crazy. Ariana Grande, you see them going crazy, partying, they're not being good role models for the other kids. Let's be honest, you know. They throw trans flips. I remember Ariana Grande was like at a donut shop, or she was telling somebody to shut the fuck up.
Ariana Grande just came out with a song called "God Was a Woman." And that's pretty women empowering, I'd say. You know, that's the goal of it.
I don't like. Okay, let's talk something about what do you think is women empowering.
I don't know. I don't even think we should be talking about this, in all honesty.
Why? What's wrong with talking about women empowering?
Because it's just like hard to talk about without a female perspective.
No, I always have a conversation with my mom, or my viewpoint about this is that
it just can get lost very easily, I think, because neither of us truly understand. So
yeah, true.
It can work, and I'm not saying we shouldn't, but it can get lost pretty easy. Because I don't fucking know, man. Someone will sit here and tell me that I'm totally wrong.
Yeah, but there's nothing wrong. I actually like people that tell me, "Oh, I'm totally wrong," and tell me their perspective. Because me, I just feel like, for me.
Okay, yeah, let's talk about women empowerment. That's a good idea.
Yeah, because for me, my honest view of it, I see people that uplift the status of women in society, and that's my main definition of women empowering, right? So
lifting women up in society.
Yeah, and then creating a sense of uplifting the women, and for me, I feel like you can't uplift women in society if you don't uplift the lowest segment of women in society. Because this is my viewpoint. By the way, I took a women and gender class this year, actually. There was like 4 guys in the class, right?
Yeah, well, that was the scheme. I can tell it.
Yeah, no, but I did say
You're like, there are going to be the women in women gender studies.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go.
Oh, yeah. Actually, that was actually one of the part of it. Like, I'll meet some girls, you know what I mean? But I went there, and it was actually a really interesting class. And I actually voiced my opinion on one of those. And my teacher was like, that's good, 140. I just said, listen, how can we say how can you empower women when you don't empower the lowest segment of the women population? Because you got to think about it. No disrespect. You know, we're talking about the feminist movement. I'm like, listen, the feminist movement is great, but you have to think about when there's native issues that affects the Native Americans. Do feminist groups talk about that? Do they talk about?
But we can't solve all the world's problems.
No, you can't.
At once.
No, you can't. But this is my viewpoint. My viewpoint about this is, Evan, you have to uplift. If it's women empowerment, you have to uplift all women. That's just that's my thing. All women need to be uplifted. You know what I mean? All women need to uplift each other. When I sometimes talk to, say, talk to a lot of females about those kind of issues, they tell me, "Oh, I'm part of the black women empowerment session," or sometimes I talk to my native friends. I'm part of the native women empowerment session.
Do they all think that you're just trying to get chicks?
Listen,
I feel like the majority of them would. Like, that's a classic way. Like, I know you're a great guy, and I know that like you're serious. Like you're passionate about this, right? But like, do they all think that you're trying to get pussy?
Me? Damn. That's a really interesting question. I never looked at it like that. They probably looked at me and was like, "Oh, this guy's all here for good." Because listen, I was in class. You know, I was just chilling. Yeah. You know, I wasn't in the back. I wasn't saying much. You know what I mean? Until my teacher's like, "Fred, I think it's so important for you to speak up. You have good points. You make good points." Because I brought these issues with my teacher. I explained it to them, and she's like, "That's a really good point, Fred. You should speak up." You know what I mean? And one day, all the girls were speaking up, and I just raised my hand. I said 40, and all of them looked at me. I'm like, "Oh, there we go. I'm gonna get chased down the class." You know? And I said my point, and a lot of girls like, "That is so interesting."
You saw the pitchforks and the torches right from the crowd, and then they slowly.
And I think sometimes guys were so afraid to talk about this with girls because we're like, "Oh, this was." But just be honest and just talk.
Maybe you're right. Maybe I'm being a pussy about it.
Yeah, you're being a big pussy about it. It's no, because the thing is, it's right. Like you can have discussion with a lot of people. But it's the way you're having discussions.
Yeah.
Like, I don't like the way how these people on television are saying, "Oh, these feminists are crazy." No, that's a bad way of having discussion because they're actually bringing legitimate problems in our society. Yeah. You know what I mean? And we as the guys, we have to take time to listen to them, right? And I do listen to them, and I do think they make a lot of valuable points, you know? Mm. And we have to understand, how can me as a guy help them? Yeah. Right?
Yeah, that's true. I just don't know. My
but you won't know if you don't ask and talk about it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But me and you, I'm assuming that us as males don't have the perspective needed for this conversation.
True.
You know what I mean? Like, it's just not. It's not appropriate within this context. What do you think if two white dudes sat here and talked about like Black Lives Matter and like issues in the African American community across the US, like do you think that's a little ignorant because they wouldn't totally know the situation? Or do you think that like people can understand other people's situations through communication, not only through experience?
What I will say on this point is that I feel like us as humans, we have this power of, there's something called empathy in this world. Yeah. And empathy gets you to put yourself in somebody's shoes and understand them. Yeah. Like I said, there was, like, if you look at the, say, marches, like Martin Luther King marches, for example. Let's just take that, Martin Luther King marches. Yeah. There was a lot of black people. Shout out to Martin Luther King. There was a lot of black people that were standing up to them. Yeah. But there was also segments of white society that was coming in and supporting him, right? And they didn't truly understand what was going on, but they knew this was wrong, right? So what I'm just trying to say is that just because you're not say black, okay, doesn't mean you don't have to be ignorant to the situation that you can understand what's going on in America. You can understand what's going on in Canada, what's going on in the struggle, right? Yeah. I think discussion is good. It's just how you have the discussion. I never have the discussion, especially in class, which I was so shocked because I thought the gender that class was gonna be a bunch of feminists that was gonna attack me, but it was actually really open class. Like I was talking.
They probably like needed your perspective,
and that's what they told me. It's like, Fred, we want you to speak more and say more things like that, right? Like I'm not like, if you're coming to somebody and insulting them or saying these kind of stuff, then you're stupid. What I'm doing is I'm raising up questions and I'm asking and I'm saying, from my perspective, I see it this way. What's going on? Can you please help me and show me? And we talk. You know what I mean? I'm always, when I have a discussion, I have my ears wide open to hear them and try and understand them, right? Yeah. So I'm not having a discussion to prove my point. This is not a debate.
Yeah.
I'm listening to you, and I'm listening to your point, and I'm listening how you feel.
Yeah.
I'm trying to understand you. That's why That's why I feel like there's a big difference, And sometimes in our society, we debate more than we discuss.
Yeah.
And when I talk, I'm not
point.
here to debate. I'm here to discuss a situation, right? Like I discuss this situation all the time with my sisters, because what I do see here that in class, I feel like there's a segment of women in society that don't feel represented in these certain women issue much in these women organization. And what they basically were saying is that this is something that they're going to work out and making sure that all women are well included in it, right? So that's one of the biggest issue that in the class that we're talking about,
Equal representation
of all women in society, because the thing is, a lot of women face different issues, a lot of women. So, for example, one of the things in class
it's a large demographic.
It's a large demographic,
15 million people.
So, for example, like
in Canada,
like white Caucasian women, one of the big things that they face is unequal pay, right?
I think that's bullshit, bro. I think not unequal pay, that was a clickbait, but the gender wage gap, is that what you're referencing?
Yeah, the gender wage gap.
See, I heard that's not real.
What?
I heard that is calculated based on the exact dollar annually. So men make more money overall. It's not that's how much a woman gets paid in the same job as a man would. That's like women taking maternity leave and women working less dangerous jobs than men. Men get killed way more often and that's a skewed statistic because people view that statistic as if someone was getting paid $100, if a man was getting paid $100 an hour, then the woman for that exact job would be getting paid $79 an hour. And it's actually all the men's money totaled up versus all the women's money totaled up.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I never heard of that. You know what I mean?
That's apparently how the statistic was calculated.
Oh, that's a really interesting.
It's nothing against that, but that's what we need to be careful of. I think. Okay. Because it's like a convenient side of the story, but we need to make sure we stick to truth. And I'm for women's rights, man. Like there's no one I love more than my mother. You know what I mean? Like, and there is.
And the thing is, women have society. A lot of things that we have to understand, and we as men we have to also articulate to a lot of women is that we do agree with them, and we do want to help, and it's just like, help us communicate. How do we help? In a sense that how do we help? You know what I mean? I asked that question to my.
It's still so unfortunate though that there are people that won't. And people that will take advantage.
Oh yeah, and we as men we have to figure out there's a lot of the dickheads that do not believe in women's right, that won't want to help them,
And like we were talking about before, we can't be a bystander.
Yeah, we can't be a bystander. And a lot of guys are bystanders. We're a lot of bystanders there.
A lot of pussies. You want another one?
I'm not even done.
That's true.
I just like the feeling of cold beer going through your throat. Yeah, it's really wonderful. It's like goes smooth, Dang. We in Toronto, baby. We in Toronto drinking that Stolpmann beer. Oh, that easy, Evan, man. You got a little too much beers out here.
Michael Jackson, bro.
Yeah,
minus the kid touching part.
To be honest, that's a good discussion. I would love to. I want to bring one of my friends in and have the discussion about women's rights and everything like that. I would like to have that discussion with one of them. That's a really, 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 really good discussion.
I had a conversation in another podcast about women specifically and the effect that social media has.
What's her name?
Tori and Allison.
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna go listen to that episode.
Yeah, it's a good one.
You should introduce me to them. I would love to. I would love to hear their perspective. Yeah. See, I'm gonna ask a lot of questions. You know what I mean? Like a sponge. I would love to hear their perspective. You know? I get so passionate with
like the psychological and philosophical topics of like the human experience. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I don't know what you mean. I don't know what you mean. What do you mean by the human experience?
Like, just, I don't want to sound fucking corny.
Shut up. Stop being a pussy and just say it, Evan.
The deep shit.
The
like,
deep
you know
shit.
what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
yeah, like the shit that...
Oh, how that people, we view the world totally different, right? And how we experience the world totally different than
And
other
just
people.
learning from other people. It's super interesting. That's why it's interesting to come to Toronto, because there will be such a diverse amount of people.
You know. I realized how women rights were so important, because one day, I was thinking about. I was in class. I was talking about the effects of racism, especially towards Black people. How kind of denigrated the images, you know what I mean, and everything like that, and brings up negative stereotypes. I started thinking to myself, man, being Black in a Western country is hard. Now I'm like, imagine being a Black woman in a Western American country. Like, well, that must be super hard. You know what I mean? Being like, and being a woman. That's why it kind of clicked to me at that time. I was like, man, I want to know how it is. And I started to understand. I'm like, whoa, that's crazy, man. Like, they must face a lot of different things because they're women and of other colors. So I was like, man, women do face a lot of issues, you know? And this is something that, since that, I was like, okay, I need to take that class. I need to figure out, you know what I mean? Yeah. I'm a sponge. I want to figure out all these different things. But honestly, like, that class was super chill. Like, I was out here saying all my points, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you probably gained a lot.
I got a couple dates after too. Like, I'm like, oh, where?
Well,
you want to go grab some coffee?
Fucking gender studies.
You want to grab some beer? I'm like,
women. Of course you're gonna get some dates. If you didn't,
yeah, I was like, I'm like, let's grab some beer.
Thrown at you, like spitballed at you from the top of the class.
It was a really interesting class, man. It was really interesting. I was happy. I was actually happy I took it, actually. No, it was actually That's good,
because I would never pick that as an elective.
Yeah, a lot of guys told me for that you're gonna get thrown into the fire pole. I was like, no, because at first I knew the teacher. And she was super chill. And we used to always have these deep conversation.
Yeah.
And she was like, Fordiet, I need you to take these classes. Fordiet, I need you to speak up. Because the thing is about me, sometimes I don't like speaking up. You know what I mean? Because I know that the way I deliver my message might seem like an ass.
Yeah,
I might feel like an asshole,
bro.
but the thing is, I'm not an asshole.
Dude.
People really know that, and people always tell me that for it. Just the way you're not wrong, but the way you deliver your message is like I might seem like I'm an asshole.
Kanye West.
No, don't fool me in like, don't fool me in Kanye West.
No, it's like
don't fool me in Kanye West. Is my.
It's like Kanye West though.
I don't know.
But isn't that how like real creatives kind of express their message? Is it?
No, don't tell me that bullshit. You're free thinking, 40. Like, shut up, man. You know, Kanye West is like, you're free thinking. I'm like, shut up.
40.
Shut up. Honestly, shut up.
No, but you kind of, I don't know. I like comedy. It's always crude. Like, you know what I mean? Like, crudeness often comes out when you're trying to discuss raw things.
And that's what I like. A lot of people might think that's wrong, but I think Dave Chappelle is doing a lot of good things.
Incredible. Dave
and
Chappelle
the
is
reason
the
why
greatest comedian to ever live.
And the reason why Dave Chappelle is because he says what the fuck he wants and he makes fun of everybody. And the thing is, everybody gets made fun of Dave Chappelle. Sometimes Dave Chappelle says some shit about Black people that hurt me. It's like, guess you know what he said?
Black white supremacists.
Yeah, and you know what he said is like, guess what kills more Black people than police brutality, racism, and war? I'm like, what? Salt, nigga, salt. I'm like, oh man. I was like, dang, did you have to go there? You know what I mean? Like, that shit hurt, but it was but you know what I mean? Like, he does make good points. You know what I mean? And
it's incredible, man. Did you watch the latest special?
Yeah, I loved it. You know what I mean? And he grabbed a lot of heat for it. But the thing is about Dave Chappelle is that he has a point when he's making these jokes. You have to understand that he's making people laugh, but he's trying to bring issues to a situation.
The incredibly interesting thing I think about David Chappelle is that he is so clearly like twisted. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he's a dark guy. Like, he's got issues. You know what I mean? But he also is so like intelligent.
Right.
Like, he's so smart and he's so dark that like when it comes out, it's always like this just weird joke. You know what I mean? It's just so incredibly.
You know, his great grandpa was one of the first black politicians after slavery. His great grandfather,
Dave Chappelle's.
Yeah, and his mother actually worked with a guy called, people Google this, Patrice Lumumba. He was the first prime minister of Congo when he was like our Martin Luther King, who got independence from Belgium and Congo. His mother worked in his administration before he was assassinated. So Dave Chappelle comes from a lineage of a lot of human rights heroes, right? And it's funny. He was always bred. You see that this Reformation. He was always bred to them. Since he was day one.
Would you consider Dave Chappelle a human rights hero?
In my view, yeah.
Why?
I won't say human rights hero. Like, there's a lot of people that are doing amazing things.
Yeah.
I think he's a great humanitarian, and his work. What do you mean by his work is really affecting the culture positively.
Yeah.
Because he's bringing issues that are important.
Yeah.
But using comedy, so comedy is kind of slicker, right? And it makes people laugh a little bit more, but it makes you think relatable, right? So when he first came in, and the first joke I told you about his special was like, man, you see all that raping shit that happened in Hollywood, man? I told y'all something was wrong with that. And started laughing. People started laughing, but this relates back to 2005 when he left the comedy world, and he was saying there's something really wrong with Hollywood. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you see all these kind of stuff that's happening right now, and you see that Dave was kind of right about that. You know?
Yeah, I'm sure he was.
Yeah, he's a really smart dude.
No one's gonna walk away from 40 million without like a good reason. Right?
Exactly. You know, it's really. So I just feel like he's super. And the thing is, he's so approachable.
Yeah, he's incredibly intelligent.
Yeah.
Like, you can just tell he's one of those people. I don't know. You can tell in their face that they're smart. Mm-hmm. Like, you can just look at them and you're like, you know things.
And the reason why I love this Dave Chappelle, he doesn't debate with people. He discusses.
Yeah.
That's people. I want everybody to understand that there's a two big difference between debating and discussing. He literally, when somebody talks to him, takes his time, listens to them, and talks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Replies, you know? And that's what I want people more to understand. Let's discuss and less debating.
Why do you think our generation has turned into a debate rather than a discussion?
Because we are a generation, we don't have a lot of attention spans. We like quick things. Oh, you say a couple words in your mouth. Oh, you mean this. And we're so infuriated and passionate. We're passionate about a lot of things, which is good. But we have to also understand that in our generation, there's a lot of people who have different views and different things about different things, right?
Yeah.
And what we have to do in our society, we all have to find a common ground in our society. You know what I mean? We have to work.
You know what? I was really thinking about it. We were talking in the car today on the way to Toronto. Mm-hmm. You were like, if we just look at everybody as humans, it's probably been said to me before in my life, obviously. But I thought about it. I had a couple moments in there, when we were at the fucking stop.
Yeah.
And I was like, I had a moment of, it was kind of, I don't know how to explain it, like a relieving moment. Like, you could just walk up, everyone is just human. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, everyone is just, it's strange to think that's so simple, but it is like a hard concept to really grasp in the fucking daily wind turbine we call life, right?
Because some humans feel like they're better than other humans. That's the issue. Some humans don't feel.
It's not that they just get lost in the perception of their own reality.
Yeah.
Like, they get lost in whatever's out in front of them.
Because the thing is, strip away the house, strip away the money, strip away the clothes, we're all human.
Yeah.
No, like, that's why I always tell them, I strip away everything, we're all human.
Yeah.
Except
if you like had a bunch of dudes like on an island, the dude with the biggest dick would definitely be the leader, bro. Like 100%. That's just a
you mean a big homie
bro, like with a third leg.
Oh shit. Evan, sometimes he makes these jokes. I'm like, oh man, Evan. Oh gosh. I ain't drunk enough to laugh at that joke. Oh shit! You know what's Evan Stolpmann? We out here. The Can't Open the podcast. Let's get it rolling. You know, let's keep it rolling.
What were we just talking about?
I know you lost me. You started talking about dicks, and I was like, "What the fuck,
Bro,
what's wrong with you, bro?" We're talking about some big leagues. You would go to a right place, and you just I'm like, with all bunch of dudes. I'm like, he's about to say something really stupid. Oh, the biggest dick. I'm like, yo. The fuck is wrong with you, man?
It's just
What's wrong with you?
Dude,
Fuck.
Sometimes you swing and you miss, dude. I missed.
Yeah.
We were talking about humans being all
Yeah.
humans and recognizing that we're all humans.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever done psychedelics?
What's that?
Like mushrooms or acid or?
Hell no. Nah.
Not good with that shit.
I don't fuck with that shit, bro.
Yo, you look a little like scared.
Oh, that shit scares me.
Dude.
You know what it is? I know you. I'm sorry. I love my white friends and all of them, but a lot of them try to peer pressure me into that. I remember I was. Let me know what it's a can. No, it's a Can't Open the podcast. I got a couple beers. Let's be real. We're in Toronto, okay? So I will. I remember my friends. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For
I want the story.
So we're just chilling. We're just chilling in the house. You know what I mean? I'm drinking. Go for it. It starts with a little thing. You want a can? Oh yeah. We're drinking Heineken. You know, high flavor, good quality Heineken.
Yeah.
Oh, for it. You want a puff? I don't know. Maybe. Let me just finish my drink. Turn around, Fred. You want hash? Or no, Fred. You want this? You want acid? You want this? I'm like, yo, chill, bro. Like, relax.
They
no, I'm
brought
good.
the fucking lazy Susan.
Good. I got my Heineken
drugs.
and my beer, and I'm good, man. He's like, yo, 4-8. Come on, dude. Come on, man. We out here in Thunder Bay, bro. Let's turn up. We just finished our last contract. I'm like, yo, bro. I don't know, man. I'm like, chill. You know what I mean?
So you never did it?
Nah. It's just not my thing.
Pussy shit, bro.
No.
Just kidding. No, I didn't actually say that. I did say that, but I don't actually mean that.
Yeah, you've been... how much beers is that?
That's aggressive. That's 4.
4.
But 4 tall boys.
Full
I know.
tall.
I'm feeling it, man. Like, I'll tell you, I'm feeling it.
It's all good. The Can't Opener podcast.
We're chilling. But there was something I wanted to... I want to kind of talk about this Toronto thing. Because I want this to be... I want people to feel this room. I want people to feel the atmosphere we're in right now. This will be a fun memory that me and you will have. Like, we'll be able to look back on this.
When Evan booked us the most bunkest place.
Bunkest. Bro, you want me to spend $300, dude? I'm going to be straight up with y'all. I'm flossing and balling on these hoes, but I'm just keeping it cheap.
Keep it cheap. I feel you.
Dude, I'm keeping it cheap. Like, there's no way that I'm not.
No, it's all good. You gotta keep it cheap sometimes, you know.
Pretty much every time.
Word?
What are you looking around for?
I was looking for my keys. I was like, yo, put my keys out there over there.
Yeah, don't squish me out like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So anyway, we're in Mississauga,
Saga City, baby.
and we're looking for a place to rent in Toronto.
Oh man, that shit's hard, man.
Dude.
Yo, tell me about the first place we seen, Evan, man. We literally get in there. This guy showed us like a little basement apartment with rooms that I can touch my hands from one end to the other room, and I'm like, what the flip is this?
Yeah, in a square. It was a square that you could touch either walls with your arms spread out.
Right? I'm like, yo.
But that alone, that was $1,200 for 2 people.
And the guy looked at us with a smile. Was like, it's a great room. I'm
Yeah,
like, oh yeah, buddy, oh yeah.
I had to
Fuck
bend
outta here.
over to walk down into the living room. Like, it was under a pizza shop.
Imagine we just took the pictures for real and we just, you know.
But it's just crazy. What? I guess it's totally different. I was gonna ask you, what do your parents talk about when they're comparing like the price to live now compared to what it was back then?
So my parents didn't grow up in Canada.
Yeah, exactly. That's
so they wouldn't know none of that shit. But
so where did your parents grow up?
Okay, so my mom actually grew up in the Eastern Congo, a place called Bukavu.
Yeah.
It's a city. My dad grew up.
A city of what's the population?
About 7 million, 6 million people. 6 million.
Holy shit, that many people?
Yeah, in the city, urbanized cities. You see, the thing is in Congo, everybody goes into the urbanized. They all go to the cities.
Yeah.
And then the country, there's like four. There was a statistics that show for 70 kilometers in Congo, there's about 30 people living.
That's crazy.
There's not a lot of people living in the small towns. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? In the rural areas. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
People all want to flock to see. So they have a mass. With about 80 million people.
Yeah.
So they all flock to these little cities there.
That's a lot of people.
Yeah, it's a lot of people.
Think
And bad infrastructure too. So think about that too.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
But like, we have 30 million people.
Yeah. That's what we got.
And that's for a huge country.
We have like 10 or maybe we have maybe like 100 million.
And
now.
we even came in here, we're like, holy shit, there's a lot of people. Like 80 million people is a lot.
My dad grew up in a city called Kinshasa where there's 10 million people.
10 million people in the Congo.
Yeah. Kinshasa. Shout out to Kinshasa. 243, baby. We out here. We out here.
We out here.
On est ici, les Congolais. You know? I had to drop a little French there, you know what I mean? But yeah, so they grew up there and they used to tell me, for them, life, they lived under a dictator called Mobutu. But on the life of there, they were telling me it wasn't bad. It was like...
Was it safe?
Yeah, it was safe as long as you didn't try to talk about democracy and stuff like that. It was safe. Yeah, no, not in a bad sense, but but in the sense that everything was like, the government only cares if you're threatening them, but if you're just living a regular life, they don't give a shit about you. So people were just living their lives, you know what I mean, and just doing their own things. And she told me that at that time life was peaceful, you know what I mean. They actually told me it was a good time. Everybody would stay there. And when you think about it, at that time there wasn't a lot of migration from Congo to Canada or any place around, you know. There wasn't really this mass immigration from a lot of Congolese people to a lot of other places around the world.
And just even in general. Anyone moving around the world. There's been a lot of migration in the past 10 years.
10, 20 years. There's been a lot of migration, right? So I guess that life was pretty good, okay for them and good for them. That's what they always tell me, right? But since the war in Congo, shit got fucked up. Yeah. And then so they had to move here, right? Yeah. And they tell me now in Congo everything's expensive. Yeah. Nobody has a lot of purchasing power. Nobody has really a lot of money. Like even already a lot of people, the vast majority of people didn't have too much money. Now a lot of people don't have as much money as they want anymore. I mean, it all stems to political issues, you know. Yeah,
it's super interesting. Mm-hmm. Would you ever consider like buying property out there?
Because, like we kind of say in the thing, I'll definitely want to buy property out there because in a sense, we have this thing saying, at the end of the day, it's the land of my ancestors. Yeah. So, I consider myself a Canadian. I'm a proud Canadian, but I also understand the importance that Congo is to myself. So, I probably will live in Canada, but I also want to also have an active life in my country.
How beautiful would that be to just have the life, and I'm sure you will, to be able to just like visit and be a part of it still, but still live in Canada. You know what I mean? Like,
that's what ultimately that's what I want. I want to be able to take vacations there. I want to be able to be there and just refuel myself, and I want to be exposed to both cultures. Mm-hmm. That's the most important thing. Because I want to be able to learn from both cultures and take the good in one culture, take out the bad in one culture, and learn more. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That's the most important thing I want to do.
Do you want to travel later in life?
Oh yeah. You're exposing a couple plans, man. I got a couple web series that will be coming out soon. I'm not gonna bust anything yet, but it will be coming out soon.
I was thinking about like doing a podcast with just go travel. And do a podcast in different hostels with different people I meet.
Yo, that would be amazing.
It'd be pretty dope.
That would be amazing. I think it'd be
super interesting to have conversations.
What would be your top 5 countries you want to visit? Now, even if you're drunk,
now. That I've already visited before?
Now, will you visit?
Okay, so Germany.
Okay, your roots. Hey.
Yeah, of course.
How'd you say hi in Germany?
Hola, I think.
Oh, that's kind of weak. You know, I was expecting something like Stein or some shit like that. You know what I mean?
Hola. I don't know. I honestly, I
Das
don't know.
Auto. Das Auto.
Das Auto.
Volkswagen. Hey, shit, niggas. Why you guys speak so aggressively, bro? That's why y'all niggas out here scaring the shit out of us, man. How I tell you, I was in Germany once, and I had a cart with my aunt, right? And I was pushing my cart, and the cart couldn't go in the thing because everything is different and everything was smaller, right? Pushing my things there, and some lady's like, I'm like, what the fuck is this? I'm like, I thought she's beefing me. She's like, I'm like, yo. I'm like, I don't know, fuck what you doing. Me, I'm getting scared. I'm like, that's it. Which means aunt. I'm like, aunt, where the fuck are you? Because she was in the store. I'm like, yo, I'm getting beefed out here by German people, German lady. She's like, and she comes out to me and she's like, no. I'm like, me. I pointed me. No German. I was like, me German. I was like, Français and English. I was like, oh, Français. I'm like, yeah. And she started speaking. She's doing a little French, you know what I mean? So she busted a little German French, you know what I mean? I was like, God damn, man. She scared the shit out of me, man.
I can't breathe.
She scared the shit out of me, bro. I was so scared that time, bro. You don't understand, man.
I get it.
So I was like, yo, man.
Holy fuck.
But I went to that city.
She have a mustache?
No.
Wait, you were in Germany?
Yeah, I went to Ike in Germany. I didn't tell you that?
No, when?
In 2013, yeah. I went to Germany.
You went to Germany in 2013?
Yeah.
You did all this traveling, eh?
Yeah, my family, we travel a lot. My parents always encourage us to travel a lot.
Yeah.
See the world. You know what I mean? And then at that time, I was living in the hood. And my dad's like, I don't want you to stay in the hood in this whole summer. Take your ass to Europe and go see something interesting. You know what I mean? So I was like, so I went to Europe, and I see some interesting thing. I went to this place called Aachen, Germany. A lot of beautiful ladies, man.
God bless that. Better than Toronto, or?
It's a different feel in Germany. When I was there and I started speaking my English, I was like, just speak English, because a lot of people speak English over there, right?
Yeah.
So
I feel like Germany would be like living in the 1970s. I don't know why. Like with the pink felt dresses on the ladies with the matching hat.
So the thing is, when I realized, I feel like there's a big difference between Western Germany and Eastern Germany.
Is that where they were split with the Berlin Wall? Was it?
Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
So I don't know too much about that thing, but from my view, from the people I spoke to, I feel like West Germany is more, hip, kind of westernized. They understand more.
Yeah.
I suppose Eastern Germany is like, you get like the real Germans, they're like, don't know English. I don't know English that much, Maybe I'm wrong. I want a million German people commenting like, yo, bro, what the fuck are you talking about? Das Auto. Yo, but to be honest, when I went to Germany, it was the cleanest city ever. It was just like, I went in Germany, things were super organized. I was like, dang, I was in a shopping center, everyone was just talking. But it was a really beautiful city, really, really great experience. It was just, I didn't know the language, and I wasn't ready to be, because it's a strong language, Germany. It's a strong language, and I was just, and I didn't expect to be that strong. You know what I mean? Because when somebody's speaking to you in real life, like, I was like, oh shit, bro. I'm about to square up. I'm like, yo, what's up, nigga? I'm about to square up. I'm like, yo, what's up? You try to get these heads? You try to get the smoke? You know what I mean? I said, yo, I ain't play no games, bro. Shit. Germany, man.
Oh my god. Fighting German ladies.
No. hey, no, I was shook, bro. I was shook. I was like, yo, what's up? Leave me alone. It's just a card.
I would love to learn that language.
Yo, yeah. How
many languages do you know?
I know 3 languages. I'm in the process of learning a 4th, right now. So
what's the 3 languages you know?
I know English, French, and Lingala. Lingala, yeah, that's the language spoken in Congo. So I speak a lot. It's spoken a lot in actually it's in Central Africa. There's about 140 million people that knows it. So it's pretty big in Central Africa. So when I go there, you know what I mean, around Central Africa, I always speak Lingala,
Yeah.
Or maybe French, but like most of the time Lingala,
Well, French is big in Africa too.
Yeah, a lot of people speak French in Africa.
It's
like this.
It's kind of up there, isn't it? Like it's one of the most spoken languages.
Yeah, you know, it stems through the colonization of the
French.
Yeah, I don't really like talking about the colonization stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, why?
I don't know. I just feel like it gives them power.
What do you mean?
It gives racism power when you talk about it. Is that a bad idea?
Are they really attached though? Is colonization and modern day slavery really or modern day racism really attached? I think they're separate ideas because they're totally separate things.
Racism and colonization?
Yeah.
I know. I think colonization did do a part in race.
That's where it stemmed from.
I think colonization was born out of colonization has been something that's been used throughout history. You know what I mean? Other African countries colonized other African countries. All this, but what was unique to it was also the racism too within the colonization, the degrading of another race too. But it's so in Africa we have a different view of this. You know, in Africa, like for example, the N-word. Yeah. We don't say the N-word. Yeah. The N-word is practically gone in Africa. Yeah. Kids grow up don't even know the N-word. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because we just don't like saying it. Yeah. You know, we just think it's for us it's a terrible word. We don't want to use it. We don't want to bring it. That word doesn't have a power to us. We finish it. Yeah. When I didn't even know what the N-word is. Yeah. When I moved to this Canada, I learned what the N-word was. I'm like, what? There's a word like this called? Like I didn't understand that. You know what I mean? And I guess the good thing about living in Africa, I'm not exposed. You're not exposed to that kind of stuff, you know. Yeah. So suppose when you live in other Western, I want to say Western, but when you live outside the rest of the world, you're exposed to that.
Well, it's totally different atmospheres. I'm sure totally different communities.
In Africa, it's just like I was never like there's a lot of issues going on here where colorism. You know what colorism is, right?
No.
It's when it's done through every race, you know, when you prefer lighter skinned people than others.
So like is that why people are bleaching like their skin and shit?
No, so like they feel like being light skins is better than dark skins. You know what I mean? Stuff like that, right? So all these different things are issues. It's big in South America, by the way. Huge in South America.
Yeah, well, that's where I saw it on a Vice thing in South America.
Yeah, it's really fucked up shit.
In Jamaica, I think.
Even in Jamaica, that's fucked up. You know, it's fucked up everywhere. You shouldn't be bleaching your skin. Everybody who's bleaching your skin, stop it. It's wrong for you. It's really dangerous. It causes skin cancer.
It's just unbelievable. How can you like understand that and still do that?
Because they feel like if they're more lighter skin, they'll be more accepted and they'll have a better job. You know what I mean? It's kind of like a self-hatred thing. Yeah. And you can also look at it like, say, So I feel like we're all looking for this perfect ideal thing that is really dangerous, you know? Like I was looking at also a documentary in Ireland or some places like that where women will tan themselves and use UV rays against them where clearly it has a danger of causing skin cancer, right? Yeah. So it's just like there's always that, you know, it's really bad, right? Basically colorism. And then suppose it's in Africa, like living in Congo, for example, Congo or anything like that. You don't really know what that is. Yeah. You just see everybody as just being black. Yeah. If you're lighter skinned than me, you're black. If you're darker skinned, they're black. You know what I mean? So it's kind of a safe zone. But my issue I have in the Congo and everything like that is like we have a large population of albino people. Mm-hmm. And sometimes albino people might be discriminated against or might be discriminated against. Yeah. Because
I heard that happens a lot.
Yeah, because the thing is, imagine if you're a black parent and you albino, you know what I mean? So they see it's like, oh, they see it as a curse. It's like, oh, I have an albino kid. You know what I mean? He doesn't look like me. Yeah. He doesn't have the same skin tone. And they go around and they don't have the same skin tone as people. And it's just like, they're seen as like outsiders. You know what I mean? Yeah. And it's so bad that we actually in Congo, we have this big city, this place where all albino kids are taken. If you have albino kids, you literally take the albino kids and you give it over there to the city. Goodness. And it's just like a bunch of albino people all living together.
That's insane.
Yeah, and that's really bad. Generally in Africa, but like generally in the world, a lot of albino people are discriminated against. Something that we don't talk about generally across the world in every culture. But for me, before talking about the world, I want to talk about my country, and I'll say this is bad. Yeah, we can't discriminate on those people, they're us. They're part of us. They're our culture. You know what I mean? And we discriminate against them, and I don't like that. You know?
Yeah.
So that's one of the issues that I want to hope to bring.
It's a interesting topic, and it's an interesting topic because, so I have a buddy named Troy, who's a First Nations guy, native guy from Equizeste. So it's a reserve between Canada, like Ontario, Quebec, and New York City. So it's like right on the border. Super interesting. Done a couple podcasts with him. Super, like one of the most amazing people you'll ever meet in your entire life. Like you'll look into his eyes and you'll get like the love of 1,000 doves. Whoa. Flying under you.
Yeah, talk about that.
Bro,
1,000 doves? Shit.
Bro, I'm telling you. I even forgot what I was talking about. What were we just talking about? I
was talking about albino discrimination, and you started talking about your native guy.
Yo, I had a great point.
Yeah.
Oh,
you forgot your point?
Oh, I'm so mad, bro.
Oh no, it's all good. Let me refresh your mind though a little bit. But the issue is that we as a community, we don't talk about this enough. Albino people are being discriminated in our society.
Yeah, I got the point back. He was talking about, so he wants to do a lot of activism for his community. He wants to do his part in his community. But he was talking to me about struggling with the question of whether it should be all people or his people.
What do you mean by that?
When he wants to stand up for his people, and he wants to make his community stronger, but he has this moral issue inside his brain thinking that that's sort of, for lack of a better term, racist.
Why?
To be like, to lift up, because it should be all people.
That do what? That be our lift up?
To embrace everybody, you know what I mean? To only specifically help one person than to help everybody. And it's honestly, he said it's like looked down in his community.
To do what? To
not only support their people, to go support other people.
Yeah, for sure. That's a good interesting point.
It's super interesting.
My dad always tells me. I always go back to my dad. Shout out to Papa Muzemba.
Shout out,
wherever you
bro.
are. He's probably drinking some tea right now somewhere along the line and arguing with my mom about why does he spend so much money on peanuts and stuff. My dad has a problem. He spends a lot of money on peanuts, and my mom hates that. It's like, what are you doing? I'm like, Dad, why you? He goes to Block Bar and buys these big bags. Like, don't tell your mom. I'm like, oh my gosh,
that's a strange addiction.
Yeah, I'm like, Dad, you need help. You need help. Stop with these peanuts. But yeah, basically, he's told me for that, always start at home. He always tells me that.
Yeah.
You want to be a leader? Be a leader at your house.
I thought about that.
Be a leader at your community. You always start where you are, and then you gradually build. So, I don't know your friend, but what I would advise him in my viewpoints is like this: your community is hurting, and your community has been through a lot of different things.
Yeah.
It's been through a lot of different things, man. It's crazy things. We can spend a whole week, a whole year talking about all the stuff that they've been gone through, right?
Yeah.
So basically what I'm just saying is that first focus on your people that are closest to you, your community, uplift them.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, Native Americans have been going through the same struggles, and they've been cast aside as the bottom of the barrels in the Canadian society, even though this is their original people in their country, right? And it's just like, if you uplift the most bottom person in the society, you're uplifting everybody. In my viewpoints,
because it raises the average. So
it raises the average.
Yeah.
My dad tells me, for if you're a lion, support the sheep. If you're a lion, support the sheep, because you're helping everybody. You know what I mean? You don't just be the alpha and omega.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Well, alpha is like the head, the strongest,
Yeah.
and be the weakest at the same time.
Yeah.
But basically, what I'm saying, uplift your community, because if you uplift your community, you're uplifting all the communities. You're uplifting the African community after that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Which we're second behind. No one. I'm not. There's no second or anything. Which you're uplifting your community and you're uplifting my community at the same time. You know what I mean? Because some of their struggles you face are the struggles I face in our community. You're uplifting us. You know what I mean? You're uplifting your community because it's making you feel better. You're making your community be better or anything like that. So you're uplifting the whole Canadian society. So that's why I would tell them, like, focus on the ones closest to you because you understand them better than me, better than everybody else.
Yeah.
You know?
That's a good point.
I can speak to you about the Germans, the Germans community. You, which I don't really know too much, but you probably know way more than me. The only thing I know
Not
is
really.
Don't know. Okay, I mean,
I know what a rouladen is.
What is a rouladen?
Rouladen is like beef rolled up in. I don't know what it's rolled up in, but it looks like actual shit. Like it looks like
what?
It looked disgusting whenever I was growing up, and I'd be sitting at the dinner table, and my grandma would bring out rouladen. Be like, here comes the shit.
What she used to say? Das Auto, German. I was like, oh. Yo, we need to take a trip to Germany, man.
Yo, that'd be so dope.
Yo,
that's crazy. I didn't know you went.
Yeah, I
And
went.
you went to Brazil too.
Yeah, I went to Brazil. I went to Germany.
You traveled the world.
Yeah, I need to. The only place I haven't been gone is Asia. I want to go to Japan. You know, maybe go to Japan. Maybe hit China and maybe hit.
See, I think that'd be the most opposite to our culture.
Why?
I don't know. I think it would be so different from anything we've ever lived. You know what I mean? Going to Europe, it's different, but it's similar.
Yeah.
Going to South America is different, but it's similar. Going to China and going to Asia, it's totally different.
Yeah, that's one thing that's interesting. When you go to Europe, it's different, but then you can find some similarity.
Yeah.
You can go to South America, it's super different, but you can find some similarities.
Yeah.
Once you head those Asia, African countries, woo!
Yeah, Africa would be a very different one too.
The world's upside down. You don't even understand where you're at again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's the beauty of it. You first of all, in Asian countries, you have to understand that I don't know everything about the Asian. In Africa, I know that things go kind of slower.
Yeah.
People are more.
Yeah.
You talk a little bit slower.
Yeah.
People are more. Ooh, you know what I mean? It's kind of a slower society, right? So it's just not slower in like anything, but just like people are more chill.
I get what you're saying though.
People are more chill and
Yeah.
stuff like that. People are more like relaxed. You know what I mean? And stuff like
Yeah.
that. It's more like a relaxed society. You know?
Yeah.
Partially for a lot of different things, but I haven't been to the Asian culture, but from the looks of the documentaries I see, it's really fast. So it'll be really interesting, you know what I mean? And definitely I'm gonna stand out, you know what I mean? Walking in the streets of Tokyo.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Everybody
bro.
probably look at me like
I've heard listen to podcasts where they say I was in Tokyo or I was in China and there was no black people.
Oh yeah, my dad told me when he was in China, he walked by a place and they had never seen a black person there, and they were just looking at him, and he was just like, "Oh, what's up?"
Like that's crazy. Think about that.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's crazy.
Yeah, because not all of them have money to travel the world and see different things, right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, you know. So honestly, like I want to see. I want to go over there and see. I just want to see the world.
I do too, so bad.
I just want to see the world because I want to just see different perspectives on different things. Because at the end of the day, I just think that we're all humans, and I'm just trying to see. You know, I'm trying to learn and see different cultures and see. You know,
They say the greatest leaders are the best listeners.
When I was a kid, I had a dream to become a president of Congo, but I grew up and I started hating politics. I'm like, fuck that. I hate politics.
That's interesting. That's an interesting dream.
It's an interesting dream.
Yeah.
My mom's like, don't give up on that dream. I'm like, Mom, I can't stand politics. You know what I mean? I can't stand just.
But we're coming into such a different game.
What do you mean?
We're coming into like Donald Trump is the president of the United States. He is a celebrity. He's not a politician. So do you really need to be a politician to be the president of anything anymore?
No, I don't really think so.
I don't think so either.
I don't really think so. I think the there's not really a bar anymore. You know what I mean?
No, there isn't. And if you create an audience, there's people that will support you, and they'll even support you through a vote in power in their country.
You know what I'm scared of? I'm scared about politics. I'm scared of power. What power does to... I'm scared of power.
Do you think absolute power corrupts absolutely?
Hell yeah.
Me
Especially
too,
when
bro.
people love you.
Me too, bro.
Well, especially when people love you. And in a sense, it scares me. You know what I mean? And I always tell my mom, like, Mom, it was a cool dream, but I don't think I'm that guy.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. I don't think I'm that guy because it's a scary position to be in. You know what I mean? Because you literally have all these people looking up to you. You're supposed to lead people that love you. Some love you, some hate you. You have to lead them in a better way. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like...
I think about that way with fame, too. Or any type of attention is like, what an anxiety-filled life of expectation.
Yeah. That's really... and that can go back to the Cardi B thing. You know what I mean? How... Cardi, she's out here on Instagram beefing a lot of people, right?
Yeah.
And it's not because of fault. It's just because people are insulting her. She doesn't know how to react, and she's beefing them. And it's because she's never had this much attention on her. You know what I mean? And people are criticizing her for responding to hate, but she doesn't have this much attention. It's stressing her out. You know what I mean? And she doesn't know what to do because she's just taking pictures with her friends. She's trying to be funny. People are like, you're being ratchet. You're not being a role model. And they're all going at her, and she doesn't. It's being a big toll on her.
The transition, like you were talking about, right? It's how do you? That's why I always think of Kanye West. Like I remember my mom used to just shit talk Kanye, and I always used to be right behind her. It's like, yeah, fuck that guy. He's a cocky asshole. But it's like that's what. It's so rare. That's why I look up to people. That's why I look up to people who are famous, who are massively successful and have a lot of money and a lot of everything. And it doesn't make you happy, obviously, but the ones that can keep a level head.
Oh, yeah.
Like that
the
makes
Coles,
it incredible.
the Kendricks.
Exactly.
I love them, those
Speaking
guys.
of hip hop, like the Kendrick, the Cole, like to earn that amount of success and still keep a level head, you are incredible. You are an incredible person.
And you know what's incredible?
What?
The people around them are incredible.
100%. Just the way
people
they
that are holding down and keeping him on flat earth and be like, "Oh, listen." You know what I mean? The friends. My dad always told me, don't be careful of the friends that say yes all the time for that. My dad always told me that.
Yeah.
The friends that tell you yes all the time are the most dangerous one.
Yeah.
Because they'll say yes to everything you say you want to do. You know what I mean? Even if it's a wrong idea. It's like surround yourself with friends that'll tell you, no, it's it's a bad idea. Don't do it. You know what I mean? So that's what my dad always used to tell me, you know? So when I feel like Kendrick and them, they surround themselves with people that tell them, hey, you did this, that's cool. No, let's not do this. Let's be, you know what I mean? Like, you know? I feel like they have a good team.
That's a very good point, and I think that contributes the majority of that to their success in that aspect. It's like I think we are a sum of the 5 people we have in our life the most.
Oh yeah, I totally agree with that. And the hardest thing that happened to me in my life was to understand that I have a lot of friends.
Yeah.
Some friends they're all amazing, but some are not good for me.
Yeah.
That's what I realized.
That is a hard lesson to learn.
So a lot of because we have all different visions.
And companionship is strong.
Right, and the people that you surround around yourself, their visions are gonna affect yours, right?
Yeah.
So you have to understand.
And even though you might love them.
Yeah.
Even though you might love them,
you know what I mean?
You need to understand that that's not good for
you
yourself.
You know what I mean?
That's hard, man. That is very hard.
And a lot of people can't do it. People can't do it. And I couldn't even do it myself at that point. But at that point, I had to learn my lessons, and I'd be like, man, life is for real, man. You have one shot at this. You know what I mean? And you need to surround yourself with people that will share your vision.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And want to encourage you to pursue your vision, right?
Yeah.
So that was the hardest lesson I learned throughout university. Hardest lesson I learned throughout. It's one of the best lessons I've ever learned for myself. And a lot of my friends, some of my friends that I know are not there yet.
Yeah.
Like they're not there yet on certain things that happen in their life. You know what I mean? And I understand. But one thing I do tell them is like, listen, you're my friend. I was always gonna keep 100 with you. Growing up is tough, you know what I mean, and these are things that you have to do, you know. Those are for real, man. Shit. You out here making me sentimental, Evan. What the fuck's wrong with you, bro?
Dude, no, but I agree, and it's all important. But I'm pretty drunk right now.
Yeah, you are. From a scale to 1 to 10, how drunk are you?
I'm 7 and
there's 3 more levels.
7/8.
There's 3 more levels you can go.
7/8. 2 and 1/8. I can go. But that's overboard. That's me falling off the cruise ship.
Oh, bro, I'm not picking up the puke. I'm not just.
Dude, I'm not. Okay, that's not happening.
Okay. Funny story. I puked on my birthday, man, this year.
Did you?
Yeah, I went to the club. I puked a lot outside. I didn't even make in.
That's hilarious.
I get one. Listen, I told my friends I get one day in the year where I can act up foolish like this. It's my birthday. Any other days, I'm not acting up like that.
I get it. You know, I rarely puke. Sometimes I do, and I think it's the worst decision I've ever made in my entire life.
Every time before I pick up my God, I will never drink again. Let me just make it through this night. You know what I mean?
But it's about being young, man.
Yeah.
You know what? We're doing it.
Yeah, I made a lot of mistakes in my life.
As long as I'm not puking by 40, I'm cool.
And as long as my parents don't see it, I'm good.
Have you ever puked in front of your parents?
Hell no. If I did, what is this Fordiet? You know what I mean? But
she would have just
slapped the shit out of me. Slapped the shit out of me.
Scared me.
Huh?
You scared me.
Why?
All right. Well, you looked at the door.
Oh,
we're in the Motel 6, bro. I don't know what's happening behind me, dog. Like, this shit's... I gotta keep all eyes vigilant.
Oh, shit. No, I know. Just I felt like the ground moved on the floor. So I was like, oh shit.
True.
I thought it was like an earthquake. I was like, oh shit. What would you do if there was an earthquake happening?
Bro, crazy. I imagine just a giant one that just split open the entire earth.
Knock on wood.
Yeah, you're right.
You know what I mean? That's not
It would be crazy though,
Yeah.
bro. That would make sense.
Hmm?
That would make sense.
That would make sense for what?
For like the apocalypse, you know, everyone talks about zombies and shit. But like an earthquake would make sense.
Oh, probably.
Yeah, you just rip it right apart in the Canadian shield.
Oh shit!
It just separates Canada. We don't need a wall between Canada and America. We just got a giant
there's
crevice.
an apocalypse. I'm going to Subway and McDonald's, get as much junior chicken and as much meat, meatball marinades as possible. I'm stocking up for at least 2-3 years. I'm building an underground tunnel and I'm locking my shit up. And I'm having my guns. I'm like, what's up? You know what I mean? Anybody that wants to come in has to have a secret password. You know what I mean?
Junior chickens
Ronnie can pull up
in a dirt tunnel with 40 at the bottom.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Like, what's up?
Yeah, you got bring a couple nice. You know what I mean? I'll bring one of my.
Bring some shorties.
Bring some shorties. You know what I mean? Bring some shorties. Bring my couple of homies, and that's
some
it.
Apocalypse shorties. Make sure they ain't bit though, dog.
Easy, man.
Easy.
Me and my dad, we love those kind of movies. Me and my dad, we watch all these movies all the time.
Hilarious.
My mom hates them. She's like, "Why do you guys always watch these kind of movies?" Nah. My mom's the kind of girl that she loves those little theater movies about like relationships, breakups.
The rom-coms.
Yeah.
The rom.
I'm like, Mom, why are you always watching these stupid like relationship movies? You know what I mean? You know? And she's like, stay away from me. Yeah, my mom literally tells me in my language, shut up all the time. Sometimes she tells me, shut the fuck up in my language. I'm like, Mom, you just saying shut the fuck up in Lingala doesn't make it better than saying it in French, okay? She feels like you can say it in our language. It's not as bad as saying it in French. I'm like, what do you mean? Like, you know? Yeah, my mom's hilarious, but.
Anyway, you want to switch this thing off?
Yeah. Let's switch this thing off.
Yeah. How excited are you for Toronto though? Before we dip out,
on a scale to 1 to 10, 25.
How tired are you?
Tired right now?
Yeah,
I'm exhausted, man. We gotta look for these houses.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm about a 25 tired.
Looking for these houses are the most tiring things ever, man.
We gotta get up in the morning. And we gotta call more people.
Oh yeah, that guys, that's the cue for saying we gotta go.
But that's for real. We have to do that.
Yeah. So I'm gonna drink a cup of juice, a couple beers, and give you a nice sleep.
Anyways, appreciate y'all.
I appreciate it. The Can Opener podcast.
Shout out to Camo. Shout out to the Inside Source. Where can they find you?
Inside Source, yo. You can find me on Apple Music. You can find me on iHeartRadio. You can find me soon, hopefully soon, in Spotify. And you
got it, bro.
And you
got it.
And you're gonna find us soon in SoundCloud. Okay.
Oh, you're not on SoundCloud?
I'm on SoundCloud.
Oh, because you have to pay for it.
Yeah, I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna get
I
my
think
bread
SoundCloud's an important platform.
Yeah, I kind of realized it's super important. Yeah. So I'm gonna get my bread up. I'm gonna pay for that and get on that.
Dude. People will be seeing some collabs between me and you. 40, we're probably gonna be living pretty close to each other in Toronto, so we'll be sharing some thoughts in the near future.
Exactly. There's a lot of things gonna change. You know what I mean?
Get a with lot. That 6 ting, OVO ting, East Side ting, Scarborough ting.
Evan, shut the fuck up.
Mississauga ting.
I'm not co-signing. I'm not co-signing that shit. Can Opener. See ya.